Plugins. Both a mix engineer's necessity and downfall. With so many YouTube tutorials force feeding you with stacks on stacks on stacks of affiliate filled plugins, it's hard not to pull out that credit card and buy these just because you were told they were better. So today I'm going to teach you some simple lessons on how to choose from the plugins that you probably already own to work in place of the ones that you've just seen or want but don't have. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Emily Bowie. I'm an audio engineer and home studio educator in Nashville, Tennessee. And here we talk about everything that can help you along in your musical journey, especially if you are in a home studio environment. That goes for anything in mixing, mastering, recording, all from a sort of digital perspective, but taking the old school analog approaches and adapting those to work in our DAWs. If that's something that you're into, go ahead, hit that subscribe button now. As I said at the beginning of this video, it's easy to be tempted to buy up all the plugins that you see on YouTube tutorials and all of those mixing tricks and hacks. But I'm gonna teach you something that I taught myself when I felt the need to splurge on those plugins and instead use the ones that I have, or maybe purchase a less expensive option that's just as good. Because, like I always say on this channel, it's important for us to educate ourselves on why we're using certain plugins instead of just mimicking what someone else is using and how they use it. So today I'm going to teach you some simple lessons on how to choose from the plugins that you already have to work like those ones that you see in YouTube land. I'm also including a PDF printout of these lessons so you can download that and keep as a helpful reference guide. Link for that down in the description area. Now, one of the main reasons that I started to adapt my mixing template to work with stock plugins is because many people are just using the plugins that came with the DAW that they own. Maybe you're just starting out and you don't have any third-party plugins, or it just might not be in your budget. They do get expensive. But after watching this video, you'll have an understanding and knowledge of how to choose the right plugins that you have to work like the expensive ones that you might not have. All right, let's dive in. So here's a look at my Pro Tools mixing template that I use every single mix if I am mixing in Pro Tools. And if you do have any of my templates and you have one with third-party plugins on there that you might not have, they will show that they are disabled. And so I want to teach you how to choose plugins to replace those. And I like to ask myself a few different questions before doing so. One, what type of emulation is this? I do some research. If I'm not familiar with the plugin, then I'll go look it up. All you have to do is look up a Neve 33609 stereo compressor. You can simply do this on their website, on U80's website, or I just like to Google things. Maybe there's a video, maybe there's someone talking about the actual hardware of that. And I find information like, this is a stereo compressor. It works great for stereo buses, such as a bus that you send all of your drums to, maybe all your guitars. Maybe you have it on your mix bus. Now with this digital version, we also can put that in mono, but I know that this is a stereo compressor, so I'm going to use it how it was kind of meant to be used. And I can look that up, or I can look in my stock plugin pile. And I'm going to try to get as close as I can to that. Now, one thing that's cool about some other plugin companies like IK Multimedia, they have a precision compressor limiter. And that's exactly what this one is. Precision stereo limiter compressor. That's what this is. And as you can see, it's kind of built to do the same thing. They obviously designed this one from the Neve 33609. Stereo compressor limiter. I don't use the limiter on it. I do have it engaged, but it's not doing anything. In fact, this needs to be all the way down. You know, for all of you Logic Pro users out there, you've got several different compressors to choose from. If you don't have a 33609 emulation plugin, then we go back and we think, okay, well, what is a good stereo mixer? Let's use that. I want to use it in a similar way, and I have videos. If you are following along with the template, I have plenty of videos on all the settings. These are the settings, and that is that. All right, so let's try one that's a little bit harder here. So the Fatso is a pretty unique plugin. Now, if I didn't know anything about this plugin, I would do my research on it. I would just type in what type of plugin or what type of hardware, what type of compressor, what type of emulation are we getting out of a Fatso? And you can look that up and find all of that information. And there's quite a few things that are going on with this one. So we might not be able to find just one plugin to replace this one with. So let's do this together. So here's some great information right off the bat. We find out what it stands for: full analog tape simulator and optimizer. And on down here, we are now seeing that this is an 1176 style compressor that's built in with this. So, okay, that's pretty helpful. So now we know it's a FET style compressor. And we've got some other things here. So we're getting, some harmonics with that. We've got saturation. There's transformers in there, tape. So, okay, so now it's kind of a combo here. So we're getting some of that analog warmth. We're getting some saturation, tape, some transformers, but we know that it's an 1176 style compressor. So we can go back to our session here. And if we didn't have a Fatso, pretty much every DAW comes with an 1176 style. So if you're in Pro Tools and you just have stock plugins, let's go with the 1176 stock that comes with it. And we also need some saturation. So again, if we were with just using stock, we've got a couple of different options as far as, let's see, there's some tape reel saturation we could do, or we've got a lo-fi that we can add some saturation to, or we could also maybe go back to IK Multimedia. I know they're a little bit on the less expensive side, and they've got something that's really cool. The Saturator X. So this is a cool one. You've got tape. You've got some transformer emulations going on here with different settings that you can go through to see what kind of, just fills what you're looking for. Because with the Fatso here, you've got a couple of different options. I like to have them all in. Gives it just something, unique, but you could stack this up and you could put one on your transformer here. You've got tubes, or you could go and put another one on there and use it for its tape. And you've got parameters on that, on how much of that mode of that emulation that you want. And then you've got your compressor here. Now we could probably do a little bit more research and deep dive on what goes into what as far as the order of the elements that are happening here. Is the warmth, is the saturation happening before or after the compressor, or vice versa? And so we can play with the order here with our 1176, and then our emulation, our saturation here, our warmth. So you can kind of play around with that, see what works best, what sounds best. You might come up with something really, really cool. So those are just two examples really of all you have to do, the steps that you need to take. You can print those out. Just look it up. Look up what the plugin that you're trying to replace is, how it works, why it was chosen to do what it was doing. So, again, Just to recap, 33609, I like that on the drum bus. It's a stereo parallel bus compressor, so that's why I like to choose that one. It sounds great on drums. It was pretty much specifically designed to do that. And so that's all we're doing is we're using things for what they're designed for. That's what I like to do. I'm not real big. I mean, I love experimenting on things, but the place that I'm going to start is the purpose that it was designed for. And I want to know what it was. I want to know the what, the why, the how, all of it. And that's what's going to help you with your mixing decisions. And I promise your results are just going to get better and better because you have a better understanding of what you're doing. Very logical stuff here. So that's how you go about doing it. Let me know in the comments if you already do this, but two, if you're going to try this out, let me know your results. Let me know if you find anything super cool, new, unique, and fascinating. I'd love to hear from you. All right, y'all, thanks so much for checking out this video and learning a little something to take along with you in your musical journey. If this is a video that you did find helpful or enjoyable, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, don't forget to hit that link in the description so that you can have your free PDF printout of this entire lesson. If you want to continue to see more videos like this one, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free to do that. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.